You're watching our live mailbag here on the Cowboys Report. If you want to be a part of the live mailbags here, then you need to subscribe. That way you don't miss out on our live shows. We are live every single Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and after games as well. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. First up from Jeremiah Early, #TrashBoys. Trade Cooper for Stephon Gilmore. Add a pick to it maybe. This is an interesting idea. It makes some sense for both sides. The Patriots, they're allegedly looking to move on from Stephon Gilmore, or at least taking trade talks from other NFL teams because they're bad this year, and they desperately need wide receiver help. Cooper would instantly give a huge and needed boost to that Patriots offense. And I think in terms of a pure value perspective, it's actually probably pretty fair. The tricky part here is that even if it's a one-for-one swap, yes, you solidify your cornerback need, but now you are looking probably for another receiver. If the Patriots would do it, I would consider it. My problem is that Gilmore would need to be paid again in the near future. It's a good discussion, and honestly, I don't know what I would do if I were the Cowboys. This might be one where both sides end up saying no, but I think in terms of player-for-player value, you're definitely on the right path. A good question, man. All right, next up from Armando Quintana. How much has this season pushed the price up on Dak? I mean, I don't think it's moved the actual price up on Dak Prescott very much. My hope, though, is it has pushed up the price in the Joneses' head. Because Steven was like, oh, got to have the 4-year deal. Can't go above that. Oh, Mahomes and Watson all got paid. Not going to go above that. We're going to stick with our same offer. That's been on the table for 4 months now and not adjust as the market changes. I think it is clear how much Dak Prescott means to this Dallas Cowboys team. Not only on the field, but in that locker room as well. I know he's still in the building. It's not the same when he can't play. This team just folded like a lawn chair as soon as Dak Prescott went down and they realized he was out for the season. Now, they came back against the Giants kind of, sort of. Past 2 games have been gross, though, and beyond. Besides the fact, they almost blew that game after Dak went out anyway. Look, it's going to be expensive for Dak Prescott. He ain't taking a penny less than $38 million per year, and it's probably closer to $40. It's going to be expensive. Welcome to life in the NFL. When you have a top 10 quarterback, you pay that guy. You messed up a year ago by not paying him under $35 million, and that's on the Cowboys. Now, we do have a deal for you guys. Speaking of getting paid, you can make some money with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code that you see on your screen. That is Cowboys125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. So you put down $100, boom, an extra $125 coming your way for free. And that jersey deal, it is still available as well. So go check it out. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. The email, by the way, once you sign up, deposit, put down $100 and place a bet, is cowboys@chatsports.com. I'll make sure that email link gets put in the comments and the description just in case you guys have any questions. From Jason McKinney, why don't we do much more outside runs? Look, the Cowboys have had that zone stretch play as a staple of their offense in the past, and there are still outside runs. The reason why there aren't a lot of them is because your tackles are bad. So what the issue for the Cowboys is this offensive line is not good at run blocking right now. Even Connor Williams has played pretty well this year since that Rams game. He's not a great run blocker. Those outside runs, they take time to develop. So by the time you are trying to get to the edge, your backside tackle or your left tackle has already gotten beat. Terrence Steele's not doing very well in that area. That's been the problem. They've been trying to avoid these longer developing plays because the offensive line just can't protect in that time frame. From Fat Sushi Man, Jevon Holland, the Oregon safety who really actually played nickelback this past year for Oregon, or Patrick Surtain, that is the Alabama cornerback prospect. I easily go Patrick Surtain of the two. Now, look, I like Holland. I like him. I think he's going to be more of a second-round pick than a top 10 pick, because you're going to be in the top 10 that this Cowboys team is. And Holland is not a Derwin James type. He's a good football player. there is an outside chance that the Cowboys could take Surtain in round 1 and then get a Holland or another safety in round 2. Of those two guys, give me the Bama product right now. From Jimmy Rogers, is it likely to trade Amari Cooper? No, it's not. I'm going to stop you right there. All of those guys? No. First off, Jalen's contract isn't really tradable. Gallup and Cooper, you could find a trade partner for. Lawrence, you probably could as well. But trading all those guys away, I mean, you're losing your best defensive player in Tank Lawrence, your best healthy offensive player in Amari Cooper, and then one of your other best healthy players in Michael Gallup. Unless you're entering a multi-year rebuild, those guys still fit your timeline. So you don't want to blow it up quite that much. Destroyer Dog, if the Cowboys trade Cooper or Gallup, which receiver will the Cowboys look for in the draft? I mean, I think you have to explore at earliest probably round 3 guy, because trading Cooper or Gallup for an early round pick and then immediately spending that pick on another receiver, that's actually going backwards. So that isn't the path you want to pursue. From TKG, when he officially signs, would you start Cooper or Rush? God, no. Well, actually, that's a good tanking strategy. So, yes, I would start Cooper Rush because he's not very good at football. Now, I don't know how many red-headed quarterbacks it takes to win a football game. So far, the Cowboys have yet to do that with Rush or Dalton starting. I would not start Cooper Rush. Frankly, to be quite honest, folks, I'd rather start Ben DiNucci because, A, if you want to go, hold on. A is a vote for Andy Dalton. That was very confusing. B is a vote for Ben DiNucci. Point number 1, I think that Dalton is a better quarterback right now than Ben DiNucci. Point number 2 is I don't really care. I could be wrong, in which case, awesome. Maybe the Cowboys have found their long-term backup, or at least short-term backup, I should say. And then point number 3 is if he is worse, then you're just tanking. So that's okay. So I'm going to start Ben DiNucci because why not at this point? It ain't going to work with Dalton. Sorry, Andy. I know you came here to try and win if you had a chance, but you had a game and a half, and it was not very pretty. Sean Ashworth, fire Mike Nolan and rehire Kris Richard as DC. This is a super chat, so Sean, I'm going to be very nice, and I thank you for watching. The problem here is that Kris Richard wasn't the answer. And he might be better than Mike Nolan, sure. I think both Cowboys teams were not very well coached, and Mike Nolan and McCarthy overestimated how much they could teach this new these players a new scheme. Hasn't worked out. But again, if you're trying to solve for a solution, and the teacher says, "What's the answer?" and you go, "How about A?" and she goes, "No, it's not A." You go, "Okay, how about B?" She goes, "No, it's not B. You're actually going further in the wrong direction." You don't just go back to A. We know A isn't the answer. So I'm down to try something different. Kris Richard is not the answer, though. All right, from Alex, how about you just throw out your 5 best linemen, even if they're out of position? Williams, Looney, Biadasz, McGovern, and Martin. I like where your head is at here. The season is over. I want to see Connor McGovern get more reps. I'm not worried about winning games with my 5 best offensive linemen. I want to see what McGovern can do for an entire season. I want to see if next year he can compete at left guard. I'm not sure, though, that it's actually Joe Looney who is one of your 5 best offensive linemen. I'm keeping Tyler Biadasz starting at center. That's his job. No more Looney at center. I want to keep playing Connor McGovern. Obviously, you're going to play Zach Martin. I want to keep playing Sewell. He's been pretty good. I do give myself some pause about which spot I'm playing Connor. Is it left tackle, left guard? Because I worry a little bit about you play Williams at left tackle for the rest of the season. McGovern's at right guard for the entire season. Now, next year, your left guard is someone who wasn't playing left guard for the last half of the season. And that type of change can be a little bit tricky. If you think it's Williams at left tackle, I am fine with that. I kind of would think it's actually Brandon Knight in there at left tackle somewhere, and then Williams at left guard. That would actually be my preferred path. It's Knight, Williams, Tyler Biadasz, McGovern, and Martin from left to right. That way you're getting, I think, your 5 best guys out there, and you're playing the young players who need those reps. Looney's not a long-term piece, guys. I don't think you need to play him anymore. All right, from Joey, I'm tanking. What is the best realistic outcome? Great question. Here's my dream but also realistic scenario. I don't know if it's top 5 or number 4 or number 3 or number 2 or whatever it is. I think the best outcome for the Cowboys is you get a top 5 pick, and you're in position where you can at least have the conversation of, hey, do we take Justin Fields? Do we take a Trey Lance? I know some people like Zach Wilson. I'm not top 5 there with him yet. But ideally, I don't think you're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Ideally, you are in a spot where you can take a quarterback, but instead of taking the quarterback, you just pay Dak Prescott like a normal football team would and trade that first-round pick for a haul. I'm talking you trade down a couple spots, get a future first-round pick as well, and that will allow you to build around Dak Prescott because you have cheap, young, talented players on very affordable contracts. So for me, because I'm taking 2, I want that top 5 pick, and I want to trade that draft pick so I have more shots at what in reality is a lottery anyway, because there's a lot of guessing going on, and draft picks don't hit nearly as often as we think that they should. Speaking of not hitting nearly as often as they should, Cowboys free agents. Disaster this year. Dontari Poe, Daryl Worley, Gerald McCoy got her. Auckland Dix never made the team. So who is the Cowboys' worst free agent pickup? I'll go recent memory. I guess you guys can show your age in the comments if you want. I think we're going to go too recent here and go with like a Dontari Poe. I still think the answer is Nolan Carroll, because Nolan Carroll got a 3-year, $10 million deal, got a DUI, and lasted like 6 games. Greg Hardy's a good one. Mike Vanderjagt, ooh, that's a good one too. That one, you're paying kickers like idiots. Chaz Green was a draft pick. That does not count. A lot of Dontari Poes in there. I see a Nolan Carroll too. McCarthy, Ha, Clinton Dix, all those coming in. Keep your votes coming here, folks, for the Cowboys' worst free agent pickup in recent memory. Alan Williams, who would you hire as defensive coordinator, Tom? I mean, I'd explore the big names. I'd explore Dan Quinn. I'd probably explore Wade Phillips. I don't know if he wants to come back, but I would at least consider it. And then I think you got to go look at, assistant coaches for really good defenses out there. And I don't have the names yet because it's too early for that for me to be devoting time to it. Probably looking at the Bucs defense because they've been awesome this year. But the big name guys you're familiar with, I'm looking at Dan Quinn, and I'm going to go and look at Wade Phillips as well. But look, regardless, we're gonna be able to make some decisions here in terms of defensive coordinators, and we'll break it all down. If Mike Nolan gets fired, there'll be the video, and we'll break down replacements as well. And I hope that all of you, the 1,250 people watching, over 250 people I should say, are subbed. So if you are watching, type in Y for yes. If you're not watching, we're going to shame you into doing it. Type in L for I'm lame, but I hope we get mostly Y's in there instead, guys. From Mr. Lubo, Patrick Surtain, which is a name no one can spell, or Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley, we mentioned Patrick Surtain, the cornerback from Alabama. Caleb Farley is the cornerback from Virginia Tech, who did not play this year. I am a big-time Caleb Farley fan. I loved what I saw of him. I pretty much did all my eval because, he went pro early. He fits what this current Cowboys front office likes, long and lanky, all those types of things for the Cowboys. I think the consensus will be Patrick Surtain. I'm going to let him finish up the season before I finally decide, of course. And I might go Farley. That's my dude. I got a soft spot for Virginia Tech guys. He's a good football player, and he has, as we all take a drink, ball skills as well.